All right, and we are live back for episode 2 of the Two Count Kickout podcast. I'm BJ here with my main man, Cam.
It's your boy Cam.
Yeah, so man, we have a lot to talk about. It's been an interesting week of wrestling, if we want to say it's because it hasn't been a full week. So, but wow, a lot to unpack and kind of discuss and going forward in the landscape of wrestling. So, um, I don't know where. I guess we can start off with Money in the Bank.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out of the way because I saw somebody put mid in the bank, and I was like, yeah, that's
It
about
def
right.
Okay, I got the same feeling, and I thought it was me. I was like, it was good, but it definitely didn't make me feel like we crowned it as the Big Five on the first episode,
Yeah,
and it
and
didn't feel like a Big Five.
then they looked at us and said, "Oh, really? All right, watch this." Like
Right, right.
I
Um,
I'll say this. There were a lot of people up in arms about like what happened and like the results and everything. And some of them I understand. Some of them I get where the frustration comes from, and some of it, eh, I get where they're going. I get where
yeah.
the it's leading. So
For sure. Yeah, and going straight into that about the upset, and I think it's the men's Money in the Bank match. We'll kick it off with that. That's
okay,
definitely been a hot topic, a lot of strong opinions on both sides. Um I think we got this match right. I think we both said Drew would
yeah,
win and fail to cash in. So we got this one right.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Here we go. There we go. We got that one right.
We got
Um,
sound effects, y'all.
yes, we are. See, we told you guys we're on the up and up, so it's only going to get better from here. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, the men's Money in the Bank match. The match was okay for me. It wasn't as good as it could have been.
yeah.
The MVP of the match for me is a tie between Carmelo and Chad Gable
Yeah,
for
Chad
me.
Gable taking that bump. Ooh.
Yeah, and
And then the
he
spear. Ooh.
yes, and then the spot where he German suplexed the ladder, that I've never seen that. So that was cool, very innovative. And then Mello, he don't miss except getting the briefcase down
Yeah,
from the he didn't hit that
we
time.
ain't gonna
So
we ain't
but
gonna talk about that.
but no, it was a good match. As far as Money in the Bank standards go, the winner is the controversial part. A lot of people
Yeah,
are saying the briefcase was wasted. Um, and I get that. For me, I do enjoy the Money in the Bank, just because it is to build new stars. So I would have definitely liked to see someone who hasn't won a world title pull the case down this time,
oh
and the
yeah,
field was perfect for it. We had all everybody besides Drew, no world titles, so
yep.
the field was
Within
perfect.
WWE, because
Yeah, with it, yeah,
well,
right,
yeah,
exactly, yeah. So that I am disappointed in that fact, but then again, I am. It did feel the fire to our eventual CM Punk Drew McIntyre clash at SummerSlam that
yeah,
we're gonna get. So it added heat to that. So it served its purpose. But for me, it was all right, and I can't be mad either way. I would have liked to see someone else win the briefcase, but for story purposes, this is clearly what Triple H is coming in. He wants to do. He wants to build long term stories that are compelling and go for months at a time. So he's doing it. So
right, yeah. And it's just, I think the worst part about it is that it was predictable. Like we knew that this was gonna, now not in the exact way it went about, but I think the fact that he won it, which was cool. Drew hasn't won on pay per view, and well, he won at Chamber, but eh,
yeah,
that was mid Chamber. But we'll get to that one whenever we get to Elimination Chamber next year.
yeah,
It's just, we knew it was going to happen, and I understand, not having LA Knight win it because he's kind of older. I feel like it was early for Carmelo. And Andrade didn't have that Just doesn't have had that aura to me personally that like, oh yeah, that's Mr. Money in the Bank. So really Triple H did kind of back himself into a corner. Like, obviously, he's thinking 3 moves ahead of us, so like we get that. But if you're gonna have Drew win, and like we'll get to this later on, just at least make it worth something.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of been the issue with Triple H and Money in the Bank. Look at Theory when he held it. He cashed in on the U.S. title. No disrespect to the U.S. title, it has a lot of lineage, but like Money in the Bank is for the world title.
Yeah.
Look at, I mean, Damian Priest. Yeah, he held it for so long. It was satisfying, but people were getting frustrated about that. So it's
Right.
like, it's kind of hard to pick, when was the right moment to do it, especially if we all knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. True. Yeah, very true. Yeah, that was the thing for me too. It was very predictable. It makes sense though. So, in that same token, I can't really, hate on the decision or be too upset about it, but I am sad that we won't have Money in the Bank for the
Yeah.
men's for an entire year. So, there's no surprise element there or anything for a year or so,
the
but
the the one thing that did surprise me is the fact that there was no interference. Like,
yeah, we talked about that too,
yeah,
and it was, yeah, the writing was on the wall for four interferences or
yeah,
more potentially,
the
and
the Wyatts,
hmm
the Logan Paul,
Logan Paul,
and then
yeah,
CM Punk. Well, I mean CM. Well, we kind of got the CM Punk part right, but not at the right time.
right, yeah,
But the Logan Paul and Wyatt Six, especially the Wyatt Six, because they keep building it up like he's going after, like they're going after Chad Gable, and like I predicted, like every time it's like Jey Uso is like in the ring,
is
that's when they
involved,
show up.
yeah.
So,
I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, it's
what,
it's kind of depressing.
what grade would you give the men's Money in the Bank?
Like I said, it's definitely not the best men's Money in the Bank match that I've seen, but it's definitely not the worst. Um,
I mean, it was. I've seen a Money in the Bank. I've seen Money in the Bank live. That was better than the one because I saw 2017 live. Baron
oh yeah.
Corbin. No disrespect to Baron Corbin, but that one was. I left the arena like, why? Like, this was just disappointing.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna give it a solid B minus because it had a lot of great spots. I will say that it had a lot of great spots, but it definitely could have been better. And I think the predictability goes into my grade for me.
I'm gonna go C plus. I feel like it was, like I said, the predictability is really what kind of took it out for
Yeah,
me, and the lack of interference. So like, there was so many different stories you could have told in that match, but besides the Drew McIntyre CM Punk one, you decided not to.
right.
So it's a C plus for me. It's still not the worst.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the worst. So next we'll go into the IC title match: Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. Of course, Sami Zayn retaining his title very clean, as I
Yes,
might say.
we got
And
that one wrong.
we got that one wrong, and this is a boo. So we definitely got that one wrong. Initial thoughts: I'm disappointed because it's kind of we're going back into we build these guys to look like killers, but we are scared to pull the trigger. And in this case, I'm really confused at why we're afraid to pull the trigger on Brian Breaker at this moment. Like I I can't even say it's not the right time. Like the way he's been presented, we've seen him in NXT. He's killing it on the main roster,
Yeah.
and he's a legit killer. So yes, it makes all the sense in the world for this behemoth to destroy Sami Zayn in Toronto in front of his friends and family and take his title. Yes, it makes sense. Why they
I
did why they
okay.
didn't pull the trigger, I don't know, and maybe you have some insight on why they didn't.
This is kind of what this is where I kind of said, some people are disappointed in it, but like I'm the opposite. And this is the one match because with Braun, he's gonna have that moment. You know
Yeah,
that. And
for sure.
even then, if we had just waited 48 hours and saw what he did on Raw, saw what he did to Ilya, saw what he did to
Hmm.
Sammy, like he's okay. Like some people are okay after a loss, and Braun Breaker is one of them. He's gonna get that moment, and I feel like Triple H is gonna wait for the bigger stage of SummerSlam because SummerSlam is. I feel like something with the Steiner brothers happened at SummerSlam that maybe that's a maybe. Like I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like SummerSlam is the moment where like Braun's gonna have his crowning achievement as IC champ because
Hmm.
like it shows because I mean if it kind of works like this, it Sammy beats Gunther for the IC title at Mania, and you don't want to downplay that, especially leading into SummerSlam with Gunther potentially being the next World Heavyweight Champion. So you want to keep Sammy looking as strong as possible, so that the guy who beats the guy who beat Gunther looks strong as possible too. And that's
Yeah.
why I feel like they're like, we're going to pull the trigger because if Gunther can lose to a Helluva Kick, and yeah, there was more added moments to it, like the Brainbuster at Mania, but that's Mania.
Hmm.
This is Money in the Bank. It's a great show, but it's not Mania. It's not SummerSlam. So
Right.
that's why I feel like it's okay for us to kind of wait for Sam for sorry Braun to take the title off of Sammy because it just makes that moment a lot bigger because like this is the guy who beat the guy that beat Gunther, and Braun Breaker has also beaten Gunther, so it's like it's another kind of little cap that like our world like this is the guy who's beaten our world champion in the past. Maybe he can be the next world champion. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And I thought about that too. Sammy, the past before COVID or during COVID kind of and a little bit before, he wasn't winning matches like I mean, he was IC champion, but he wasn't winning matches like that. He wasn't really being pushed. I mean, he had his moments with the bloodline, which were awesome, but
yeah,
we really haven't seen Sammy get this type of push on the main roster. So he is being booked as a strong IC champion, and like to your point, he beat Gunther, so he should be portrayed as a strong IC champion. But man, I just want to see new stars. I just want them to, be crowned as they should when they should be. But that's not for me to decide.
right.
So
It's we waited so long for like I said, Gunter to
yeah,
lose to for Seth to lose. It's when those stars come, it's gonna be when they're supposed to come. Not, and that's kind of like what not kind of messed up, like where Vince kind of messed up. Where
yeah,
he wanted to push people as soon as he thought, okay, yeah, they're ready, and they may not be. The only
yeah.
exception I think that like it worked to their best their best was Brock Lesnar.
Mhm.
Because he pushed Brock like right from the get go, and Brock luckily
Yeah.
had Paul Heyman, so it wasn't even just fully Brock. And I feel like Brock Lesnar would be like, yeah, I owe part of my career to Paul Heyman, but
Mhm.
it was still that moment where Vince had the final say, and it worked. Other times it hasn't. Look at Jack Swagger, at
Oh
the time he
God.
got pushed. Yeah, no offense to Dolph Ziggler, like Dolph, he waited too long.
Yeah.
Um, you know, dang, who are some other like super push guys like from the get
Pushed
go?
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, that was a thing. That was
Sheamus worked out.
Sheamus worked out, but like even then, like
It was
his
still
booking afterwards, it didn't
yeah.
like Sheamus really wasn't taken serious. Like he was taken serious seriously, but he wasn't taken like serious as a like champion until he was World Heavyweight Champion in those matches with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way he won the WWE championship initially was kind of like
Yeah.
fluky. So,
They even
yeah, I
mentioned
get.
that in one of the WWE games. The one where it's like Road to WrestleMania, and it's like
Oh, is
Sheamus.
that the one at the end he wins every single
Yes,
championship?
bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to restart that, and I was like, just just end me now, because
And
like
it's
I knew it was gonna be a slog.
oh yeah, and it's funny. It like Triple H came out at the end to challenge him for all the title. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Braun will get his moment. We'll see. It looks like even after Raw, they're gonna. It'll probably be a triple threat match. Ilya will get involved and inserted into it in some way. I don't
Now
know
that
how he's gonna get inserted into it,
that's a
but
guy where I'm not nervous for, not scared for his booking, but just nervous about it, because Ilya like has what it takes, like the intensity, maybe not the charisma, but there's that, not that language barrier, but that's the closest I can say to it.
mm,
And but he can go in the ring and he can
oh
tell a
man,
story just by his face. I mean, look at like he could just hug you and just look at you and like you're like, I'm gonna die. Like he
yeah,
did with Trick Williams or Baron Corbin and Carmelo in
mm-hmm.
NXT. Just look at his work in NXT. So
Yeah,
that's, I'm still nervous because like he lost to Jey Uso in the King of the Ring tournament. He's lost to, you know, Braun Breaker, which I get you're building the star of Braun Breaker, but still there are other ways where you can build them both equally and not have Ilya take so many losses. Like,
yeah. Just don't put them in matches together. I don't understand that booking. If you're trying to build new stars, and why put them in matches together? That you're booking yourself into a corner, as we know.
yeah,
Um,
and Ilya just trying to be like, trying to have everybody's back. Like I get it, but this isn't the Ilya that we really
I was gonna say this
know.
this doesn't fit. No, this isn't Ilya. No, he's not helping everybody. He's not that type of baby face.
No,
Like,
there was Ricochet, and I guess Sami Zayn's now the substitute for Ricochet since Ricochet has left the company. Like, bro, just stay in your lane.
yeah,
Focus
let my
on winning those matches and getting the title. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but Sammy and Braun, the match was pretty good though. I don't. It was a good match.
mhm.
Um, no shenanigans. It was very clean. I like that. When we have a definitive winner,
Yeah,
that's definitely a good thing. So grade wise, I'll let you go first with this one.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B plus, just because like even though like we know where it's gonna go, it is still kind of like, it's part of me still kind of disappointed because you're
Yeah,
building Braun up as this monster, and then just one haluva kick and
yeah.
it's
That.
over. Like, not
Mm-hmm.
even a brain buster haluva kick, just a haluva kick. Like, it's a good move, but even Kevin Owens is like, it's taken two of those to beat Kevin Owens before.
Right.
So B plus for me.
I'm gonna go B,
Okay.
just off of that the same scenario. And I definitely think that maybe they're saving their best stuff for SummerSlam. I think that match will probably exceed this one for sure if they
Oh,
give them another go. But yeah, the fact that Braun, it only took one haluva kick. Like I was, when I was watching it, I was like, he's not. There's no way this is just he's taking this one haluva kick and it's over. And we didn't see any spear in the match. Not that I recall. I don't even think he got a spear. So I would have liked to see some
and maybe they're
anticipation.
protecting it, and maybe because like that's how
That's
it was
fair.
with. I know for a while they protected Brock Lesnar's F5.
Yeah,
Because they wanted Roman to be the one to kick out of it. So like
yeah,
I get them protecting his franchise, because like when he hits the spear, like since he's gotten to the main roster, it's either outside of a match or no one's kicked out of it. Or
right.
if
Yeah,
if they do, it's because Braun's like, I'm not done with you yet. And then, speaking of which,
yeah.
now I want to see Braun Breaker versus Braun Strowman. I don't know
Oh
why.
God, that's a collision. Just imagine both of them going out of the ring and doing their and clashing. Oh my God, would That would be an insane match, and very stiff and strong, I
Oh
would
man.
say. But it would be very entertaining.
And I could see
And
the finish, like the power slam, and then Braun like gets out of it, pushes Strowman, and then just spear. Oh
yeah,
man.
and another random, because you brought up protected moves. The fact that the end of days was so protected was
Yes.
insane. Like
Yes.
the first person to kick out was Drew at Mania. I get the numbers mixed up. Was that
30,
30,
38.
38? Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was there. So
Yeah. I was about to say, weren't you there?
I, I remember it happening, but the numbers I always get the numbers mixed up. Yeah,
Because they
it was
stopped doing the
38.
numbers for a while because Vince was like, it makes WrestleMania sound old. Like, bro, it's
Yeah,
been around since '85. Kind of,
it's old.
it's kind of old. Like, no offense.
Yeah, so but that's just a random like yeah, end of days was protected for so long. So
Yeah.
but yeah, B for me and you gave it a B plus.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens at SummerSlam.
Real quick on end of days, bro. I think uh he's Baron Corbin's going like instead like he's like I mean I get it, but like I wish or somebody I don't it may not even be Baron. Somebody was like, you know, I get it was on WrestleMania, but like you could have saved it for like a bigger match because like it didn't lead to anything.
Yeah,
Like
it
him kicking
didn't.
out of it didn't lead to anything. So it's like, eh.
And it was funny. I was in the crowd. I was luckily where I was sitting. There were like some hardcore wrestling fans, and we were all like, "That's the first time somebody kicked out!" Oh, and everybody like, I guess casuals around us were just looking like, "What the hell are they talking about?" Like,
Whose man's is this?
"Whose man is this? Why are they so hype? He kicked out." But yeah, but it's crazy, that it was cool for, your not your hardcore wrestling fans that realize like that's never been kicked out of. So that was a big moment for those who pay attention and followed Baron Corbin through his career. So
Yeah.
next, and this is another hot topic match, the World Heavyweight Title match. Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. Of course, Damian Priest retaining with shenanigans for the third time. So,
And it became a what kind of match, PJ?
oh man,
What kind of match did it become?
it became a lot of things, man.
But what specific match? Okay, for our audience, I wanna give a little insight because we don't just want to talk about wrestling. We kind of like also want to talk about like what made us wrestling fans. And so BJ and I were cousins, but like, we didn't know that. And dude, it's been almost 20 years, so I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
we're
get into
old.
that. Yeah, I don't like that. But but one of the things we used to do is play the old PlayStation wrestling games, and we would do general manager mode, like where I think BJ would take over one roster, I would take another,
Good
and
times.
and I still think about this every now and then. He'd be like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna put him in a triple threat match." I'm like, "A what?
A triple threat match. Oh,
You know, make it a triple
yes.
threat? Like, a what?
Oh, yes. It did
Triple?
become a triple threat. A triple threat match.
That should be the
With
name of episode 3.
yes, triple
Episode
threat.
3, triple threat.
We'll talk about all history of triple threat matches.
Good.
Yeah, no, that's a fun topic. We'll have to add that.
Like a slow
But
wrestling day. Let's just talk about triple threat matches. Why?
yeah,
Why not?
why not? Why not? They're fun.
The first
Um,
one was Owen Hart, Goldust, and Triple H. Don't ask me why I know
wow.
that.
See, you're the fat guy, the fact guy.
I follow
So
somebody on Instagram and he like posts random like wrestling stuff. So shout out to Wrestling Historian, by the way.
nice.
Uh, yeah, sorry. Just gonna go ahead and plug them real quick.
No, I love the plugs. I love the plugs.
But
Yeah.
yeah, a
So
triple
it's
threat match.
Seth, freaking Rollins, Damian Priest, and then eventually Drew McIntyre. The match was really good in my opinion. I enjoyed the watching it. Of course, we have the spot with the botched kick out
Yep.
or whatever was supposed to happen at that moment. for me, I definitely think Damian Priest was knocked out for a split second because even in the recap or the replay they showed, you can see like he's kind of coming out of it and his hand like twitches. So I can't knock him for that. They put on a great match until that spot. And props to Damian Priest for kind of shaking it off. And you could tell it was eating him up
Yeah.
during the closing moments of the match and after the match. It bothered him. So props to Damian Priest and Seth for putting on a great match despite the minor botch there, or major, I guess. Yeah, it was kind of a major botch,
Yeah.
but you can't. Things happen. It's wrestling. This is why they tell us not to do it at home, but we do it anyway because
We did it anyway.
we did it anyway. But this is why they tell you not to do it at home because you can get knocked out and be unconscious for a split second. But no, it was a good match for me. I liked the fact that they did use the Money in the Bank kind of to fuel Drew and CM Punk's feud. That was the right decision there. There was no point in Drew not cashing in that night. The same night. So
Yeah, yes, but also like the fact that we knew CM Punk was going to Drew over in some way.
yeah,
In which case, and just I don't, like we said in the run through, it's kind of a waste of Money in the Bank. Where it's
yeah,
like, it's one of those things where like people look forward to every year, for better or for worse. And it just kind of sucked that it was kind of just thrown away in a way where, it's like it the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud didn't need Money in the Bank. It didn't need that to be collateral for it.
no,
You got these guys, angry at each other over a bracelet and like cutting these promos that like cut deep. It just you don't need. We can build another star while also keeping one of the big matches that everybody's looking forward to, and keep those separate and still also build up somebody to take over, if Damian Priest doesn't work out, if Cody Rhodes needs to get away for a bit, because but it was like you said, it was a good match. The Money in the Bank cash in did kind of sour it for me just because like we already knew like, yep, Punk's gonna come out, screw over Drew, and even you could see Seth Rollins like, I know it's in storyline, but like the fact like because those two don't like, they respect each other, but they aren't the best of friends at all.
right.
So like you can tell like Seth is pretty damn good at like conveying that on his face because like
Oh yeah,
him staring at Punk, and then when we get to Raw, we'll talk about that, but like him staring him down, like for a second I was like, I think he actually like is pissed about this.
no, yeah. Seth is, yeah. That man is. He's one of the best in the business, and I will die on that hill. Yeah, he's so damn good. Like, you literally thought he was gonna kill Punk after the match. Like, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, the match definitely got soured for me with the predictability, Drew cashing in and CM Punk. I definitely wish CM Punk would have stopped Drew from winning in the Money in the Bank in the first place.
Yeah.
I think that would have made more sense. And like you said, their feud, Drew and CM Punk's feud, didn't need any more fuel. Like it's already there. It's the hottest feud in WWE right now. So
it's been building since what? At least the Rumble, at least.
Yeah, at least.
That's
six
6 months
seven,
now. Damn.
Yeah, going on 7 months. Like
7 months of anger. Like,
yeah, and the fact that the Money in the Bank didn't need to be collateral. The fact that they built it and made it so hot, but without all of that, should have just been an easy, transition into SummerSlam. They didn't have to add the Money in the Bank into it, but
you could have still done the whole Drew storming off, getting pissed off, pushing people and shoving people, all that. You could have still done that without him taking Money in the Bank, because like then you could come back and say, CM Punk's like, Drew, you're a liar. I thought you said you were gonna leave. You weren't leaving Money in the Bank without the world title, you didn't even leave without the briefcase.
Yeah,
And
that's big heat there. Yeah,
and that just like that eats at him. And then if you do decide like, hey Drew, we do want you to have that big moment, your crowning moment in front of the fans, you can then have that as like a vindication, sort of like where
hmm,
I finally bested Punk after Mania, after he screwed me over, after he cost me Money in the Bank, like not winning it at all, and
yeah,
then finally having that big moment where he's like, I did it. And especially with Clash, like it's getting tiring, kind of. It's kind of
yeah.
like I'm ready for their match, just so we can stop with the like stop with Punk screwing Drew over, and we can just kind of move on. I know it's going to be a bar burner of a match, but it's getting tiring. Like, it's been 6, 7 months, and I mean,
Well,
outside of the Rumble, they haven't interacted. Yeah, it's because Punk was injured, but still.
yeah, I'm ready for them, but we got to prepare. They're gonna do a trilogy. We know that that's gonna happen.
I just
They're
hope
gonna
it's
have
spread out.
SummerSlam, Bash at Berlin, and then Bad Blood will close it out.
I'm
We
I'm nervous because I feel like because I heard Punk say like, well, he did say my first match back. I'm not doing Hell in a Cell.
right.
I get it, but and like I said, in our last episode with, I also feel like this is also a moment for Rhea and
Live to take
live
center stage.
to live to have, yeah,
Hmm.
because that way, because that's not only that's over 2 years.
Right.
That's from 2022
Hmm.
on to now, and there's like they've cost each other both so much time, and you know Hell in a Cell is so important to Hunter that I don't think he would want to have two Hell in a Cell matches in one night. He just wouldn't. He wants to make it like a one time a night thing. And yeah, CM Punk and Drew would be great in Hell in a Cell. Don't get me wrong, but you're also putting an injury prone guy in Hell in a Cell. In Hell in a Cell, yeah, they're safe. Like WWE wrestlers are safe, but there's that unpredictability where yeah, Rhea's
Yeah.
coming back from injury, but Rhea hasn't been injured as much as Punk has,
Yeah.
and same
That's
with
true.
Liv. Plus, there's that animosity, and so I would prefer it to be Liv versus Rhea Hell in a Cell, just because it would just make so much more sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. And maybe they don't. Maybe they, like you said, maybe they just save that Hell in a Cell spot for Rhea and Liv, and maybe Drew and CM Punk do a different stipulation with their match or something. But I do think Bad Blood, just by the theme of the pay per view,
Yeah.
I think that's where their trilogy ends there. But we'll see. We're gonna get Damian Priest and Gunter at
Mm.
SummerSlam. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I initially thought, what are we doing? Like this doesn't make sense. But we can't say we don't want new stars to be built
That's true.
if we don't accept this match. If we don't get excited for this match. Damian Priest, this is his first like big showcase as champion. And he's going against a established superstar in Gunter.
Yeah.
And it could, they could shock us. And I can see a world where Priest retains.
That's what
And
I'm scared of. Like,
yeah,
I'm with you. Like after, like especially like now, because originally my whole thing of being against it was it seemed like it was going to be heel versus heel, and after Monday, and I know
hmm,
we'll get into it, but after Monday, Damian Priest it seems like he's slowly turning into a baby face.
yeah,
Right now he more tweener than baby face,
tweener.
but like
Hmm.
still it would work better if Priest is like a tweener going into SummerSlam and Gunther being the downright heel, and then like you had said last week or last episode, having Gunther having the Judgment Day inadvertently cost him the
Hmm.
world title. That way, Priest can be a face, go after Finn and JD, and
Yeah.
then Gunther can go on and have a long reign, especially and have the rematch at Bash of Berlin
Hmm.
cemented, because like SummerSlam it could be accident. Ow! I bit my teeth.
You gotta be careful, man.
Well, um, have SummerSlam be the accidental cost, and then
Hmm.
Bash at Berlin being like, oh yeah, like it was, we don't like you, we don't mess with you, so
Right.
like we're gonna cheat you out of the title.
Hmm.
So
But for me, after Monday, um, I think Damian Priest is gonna retain at SummerSlam, and I think the screw job from Judgment Day will be at Bash at Berlin,
okay,
and Gunter will win. But then again, I don't want that because I want Gunter to win clean.
that
So
and because
it's
I want the King of the Ring to be protected,
yes, that
because
too.
you look at all the great kings, and the last King of the Ring, the last time we had King of the Ring before Gunther with the Xavier Woods, he kind of got this. Like I feel like it was more like a, well, damn, here you go. Like you keep asking for it, like here you go. Like we'll give you the title, and they didn't really do anything with it. I mean, they crushed his crown on TV, and I know that's Roman being heel Roman, but at least let the man get an Intercontinental Championship match or something.
Something.
Like
Yeah.
it's almost like they're treating him like Billy Gunn when he was King of the Ring. And I just watched a review about that today. I'm just like, because the guy, like, he went over, he's like, Billy Gunn after this, like after he won King of the Ring, he loses. He's in a tag match. He loses his next match, and then his SummerSlam feud is with The Rock. Like why would you do this man like this? So I feel
that
like that was like how they treated Xavier Woods.
Yeah, that's another segment we'll have to do in a future episode, like
Oh yeah,
King of the Rings,
King of the
because the
Ring.
fact that Mabel was one of the King of the Ring
That,
winners.
that aggravates me to this. Like that, no disrespect, R.I.P. to
Yeah,
Mabel, but
R.I.P.
that
Yeah,
that aggravates me. So
yeah,
I hate it. I'm just
yeah,
like I go back. I'm like, why? Like you go from Bret Hart, Owen Hart, two of the greatest in ring,
yeah.
to Mabel,
To Mabel.
who Undertaker was like, yeah, I just put him in the Ministry of Darkness because I didn't want to wrestle him. Like, bro broke my orbital bone. Like, I don't
Yeah,
want.
he was he was Nia Jax before Nia Jax.
Even Nia Jax got better. Like
Yeah, Nia
Kevin
definitely got better.
Kevin Nash had to save him from getting fired. He's like it's okay, bro. Like you almost broke my back. Like damn near crippled me. But don't Vince, don't fire him. Like
Jesus.
bro, just come on, get your stuff together.
Yeah. Well, we'll do King of the Rings,
We will.
history of King of the Ring. That's a good segment too.
When we get off,
Oh,
there's something like whenever we cover Bash at the Beach, there's something I'll want to talk to you about. Just
okay.
like what we can cover for something in the future. It just came to me.
Okay.
All right,
All right. So
let me try to
grade
remember that.
for the triple threat match.
Right.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go B again, and that's just because of the Money in the Bank shenanigans, and no fault to Damian Priest. But that the botch kick out kind of threw off the momentum too.
Yeah, and
But
that's
that's
like what back to back shows where a botch that's not his fault at all, but like he's had
yeah.
botches because there was the over the top rope move at Clash.
Oh, when he got his foot
Yeah,
caught. Yeah,
which that was everybody was having problems that day, and then
yeah.
that it's like, dang, like it's like
He just got bad luck,
he
man.
does.
That's just and that sucks to see. But yeah, I'm gonna go B. Could have done without the Money in the Bank shenanigans and the botched kick out, but
Yeah,
that's no fault to Damian Priest.
right.
So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, he really redeems himself at SummerSlam and puts on a classic. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B as well for the same reasons. Just the predictability of it. It's
Yeah.
I it just didn't mesh with me. Like going into, I was like, I thought we like maybe Seth could win, but deep down, I was like, there's no way Seth is pulling this out.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah. So we'll see. SummerSlam is shaping up to be interesting. So
Cleveland.
next, this was match of the night for me, hands down. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I was even telling my wife, I was like, these ladies really went crazy. I'm like, oh my god, the
They went
spots
stupid.
and Chelsea Green channeling her inner Jeff Hardy, and well, she did the spot in TNA before, but
Yeah.
but still, like Jesus.
Like if you look at the different camera angles, it's like better with each different one. But
Yeah. And unfortunately, we got this one wrong too. So yeah.
I want to say I did say Tiffany may win.
Okay,
I
I
want to
got this one. I got this one wrong. Because I definitely said Chelsea Green.
I said Tiffany or Chelsea,
Yeah.
and
So,
I'll go back and watch it. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit that on the next episode.
but we'll you said Tiffany until proven otherwise. So,
Right.
so you get the cheer for that one.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, definitely match of the night for me. A lot of insane spots. I see it. I saw a lot of people on like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm not
it's
calling it
Twitter. It's
X.
Twitter.
Twitter.
It's
Yeah, on Twitter talking about it was sloppy. I mean, what do you expect from a ladder match?
oh,
Like they're climbing up 20-foot, 30-foot ladders and getting thrown
exactly.
30 feet off the ground. Like it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a smooth classic because that's not
That's not
realistic.
wrestling.
Yeah, we want it to seem somewhat. There has to be realism within the sports entertainment.
Exactly.
You have to make us believe it. Nobody's like, if an average person goes up and tries to jump off of a ladder, they're probably going to break their neck. So the fact
Mm-hmm.
that nobody was really hurt in this match, and they performed these insane spots, like shout
That,
out to them because
it's-
they really stole the show.
us- especially EO Sky, because
Oh
that
man,
Michinoku driver,
oh my god.
I was like, I think Zoe Stark may be dead.
And she sold the hell out of that.
She said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
and
like
no,
I was watching a compilation of like afterwards, and I'm like, because I want to go back and like look at them again, and I'm just like, I'm cringing the whole time with all these spots. I'm like, golly, like
yeah,
that spot, the Chelsea Green spot, the German suplex off the ladder by Lyra.
yeah.
It's just like, yo, these girls are killing
They
it.
they did their thing, and we got Tiffany Stratton as Miss Money in the Bank, which
It's Tiffy
I
time.
yes, it is Tiffy time. I'll
It's
give
Tiffy
it to
time.
her. She's it's the right time, honestly, at least for her to be Miss Money in the Bank. And I think this is kind of, I predicted Nia when we did watch the Throne to win at SummerSlam. I think this kind of solidifies that she will win at SummerSlam, and they're
That
gonna pull
Naya's gonna win.
that Nia's gonna win at SummerSlam because they're gonna do. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they are going to have them as a unit for the time being. How long they are together, I don't know, but eventually Tiffany will cash in on Nia is my prediction. So,
Okay,
but as a heel or a face, that is where I'm
Tiffany
kind
only
of,
works as a heel. As
yeah,
her character.
I
That's
don't know how they're gonna do it.
that's why and I know we had mentioned, like, I know we mentioned during Watch the Throne, how they're only going to have one of the king/queen of the ring walk out, because that's
Right.
usually how they do with the Rumble, except this year, so it's my bad. But usually that's how they're only going to have one, and
Hmm.
I feel like Nia's already been women's world champion. That's why I thought, hey, post match beatdown after Bailey somehow pulls it out, and then Tiffany's already there. And then Tiffany's like, okay, here you go, my Money in the Bank briefcase, moonsault, 1, 2, 3. I feel like they're gonna go for like a Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss kind of situation,
And that was my thought too. That was
where
my thought.
like, because that's kind of how their partnership started. It's a shame they didn't have the women's tag titles during then, because that would have been like a
Oh yeah,
good
they could have built that.
they.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I feel Tiffany will be the next women's champion. By cashing in on Bailey, because Bailey's reign's just kind of been
Meh.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's been kind of mid.
Yeah, most definitely.
No offense to
Yeah.
Bailey, but it's just the way they're booking her.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not booking her well this title reign. They haven't really given her, and it's Friday will be telling to how they kind of segue into building their match at SummerSlam. So
right.
we'll see what they do, but hopefully this is the feud that solidifies Bailey's title reign kind of a little better than they have booked it, because it's definitely been meh. Like,
Yeah.
no fault to Bailey, of course, but yeah, we'll see. This is when we do SummerSlam predictions. It's gonna be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
So,
And
but the
SummerSlam's the
right
third.
person,
That'll actually be towards the end of the month.
yeah,
We're doing
the,
SummerSlam. I had to think about it. I was like, wait a minute. It's coming
yeah,
out. So yeah, at the end of the month we'll do SummerSlam predictions. Because then we'll have the full match card.
right.
Like we'll kind of know, what's going on. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun just to see what they do. But I do think the right person did win. It makes the most sense for Tiffany to win, and she's I don't know. They might make her a face, but because the reaction she gets
I
naturally,
Yeah,
I can see them turning her face. But how?
but
I
her,
don't.
it's her
It.
character. That's the only thing that like holds her up because when she first started at NXT, she could not get that over. And then she
Yeah.
came back and like turned that up to like an 11. And that's when everybody's like, yo, like Tiffany's actually good, but she did that as a fake, like as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she may have started as a face a little bit, but
Yeah.
then she turned into a heel, and it's like, okay, yeah, this girl has got it.
I don't know. I feel like because they did the same thing with Bianca. Bianca was a heel in NXT. She kind of came in initially. She was kind of heelish, but
Yeah.
it didn't work out that way. Like, so I don't know. We'll see. We
Yeah.
will see. But for
And,
me,
and with Bianca, I'm not trying to cut you off.
no, you're good.
With Bianca, it's also because the way they really brought her to the main roster was, unfortunately, I remember the dark times of the COVID era so well because I didn't do anything except go to work because I was essential at the time. Yeah,
There you go.
and then I would go to work, come home, and like just chill out, and then watch wrestling. And Bianca, it was Angel Garza and Austin Theory and Andrade going up against the Street Profits, and Bianca was like that, like equalizer to
Yeah,
Zelina.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it was just like that's how, and I wasn't a Bianca fan because she was a heel, but like as she like got over on the main roster, I'm like, okay, you know what? I've just been a hater. My bad. I was like, dang, I'm a hater. Just because she's a heel, that don't mean nothing. Like I only seen bits and pieces because I wasn't watching NXT as much then.
Right.
But as soon as I saw her, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a hater. She is killing it. I've been rooting for Bianca. There's only one time I was like, yeah, I kind of want Bianca to kind of drop the title, and that was to Asuka last year because I feel like it was time for
Yeah,
Asuka.
it was Asuka deserved it, but we'll talk about how WWE does Asuka in a future episode too. But yeah, that the match grade for me, I'm gonna go A.
Yeah,
It would have been A+ for me if Chelsea Green won.
yeah.
But I'll give it an A because essentially the right person won. And the match was amazing. They put on a great show. So
As somebody who was there for the first women's Money in the Bank, this ending was a lot better because
yeah.
I was so proud to see it because yeah, James Ellsworth, man,
Oh
that
man.
you could like you could hear everybody like we saw Carmella grabbing the briefcase or we saw Ellsworth and like we all just collectively said it was like why so much so
Yeah,
that they
that
had to redo the match. I'm like, yo, come on.
insanity.
St. Louis
But
ain't have
yeah.
nothing.
Well, we had Extreme Rules 2013 or 2014?
2013, and we had
2013.
Triple H. We we couldn't even have
Triple
a
H
good John
did win
Cena
that
match.
match.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
Rock won it.
Oh, he did. You're
Brock,
right. You're
because he
right.
jumped Brock, and I think he fell.
Yeah.
He jumped Brock and
Oh,
because
we did crown the Shield. They got their first titles that
I was
night.
pissed at that because I was like, man, why they do my man Kofi like this?
They did do
We had
Kofi a little dirty.
we had a John Cena match that was okay, and then it ended in a draw.
Oh
We
yeah, that
had we got CM Punk being announced for the next month's pay per view, but not our pay per view.
yeah.
We had a
Actually, you're right.
it was
It wasn't good. It I
it
think
was
it was because of the extreme rules. I think I in my head I was like, yeah, we had the cage match.
cage match,
We
last man
had
stand.
last man standing.
I quit.
Yeah.
A bull rope match or
Oh
Mark Henry
yeah.
and Sheamus, and then was it a last man standing or just? I think it was just an Extreme Rules match with Big Show and Ray. It was okay. Like it's not the worst show I've ever seen, but I
Yeah.
was like, dang, this is the
Yeah,
one after
it definitely
WrestleMania.
wasn't. Now that I'm thinking, yeah, it wasn't as good as Remember. I think in the moment we were, just excited to be there. But
Yeah,
yeah, looking back, it really wasn't that good.
I will say this: it was better than Royal Rumble 2022.
There we go. I can agree with you on that.
When we talk about the Rumble, I'll go ahead and give my experience about that because I
Oh God,
think I spent $60 on that. I want a refund now.
I need my money back immediately, please. Oh my God,
You want to talk about a collective gas?
so depressing.
Speaking of which, that was me with Brock Lesnar with Money in the Bank.
Oh
Because I
yeah,
mean, we're talking about Money in the Bank. Like that match, like it made no sense because he cashes in on Seth. Seth beats him at SummerSlam
hmm
to win it back, and then he just gets a title match against Kofi. Like, I why not just like cut out the middleman, build Brock up bigger heat, and just have him cash in on Kofi? Like then, like
that man held both world titles in a matter of a few
months.
months. That's insane.
I was like, damn, I hate you.
But yeah, what is your grade for the match, the
It
women's Money in the
was
Bank?
to date one of, if not the best women's Money in the Bank. I'm gonna give it an A. I was gonna
Yeah,
give an A, but I can't because that looks like a gang sign. You might have to blur that.
right. Editing that out. No. Oh yeah, that was definitely for me. I think that was the best one that I've seen.
And it was
So
definitely match of the night.
yeah, 100%.
Because
Um, And then last but not least, the Bloodline beating Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and KO in the 6-man tag match.
we did
I
predict
think
that.
we predicted this one. Yeah, I think we got this one right.
We didn't we didn't get whoever got the fall though.
Yeah,
Which
we
I
did say
understand.
yeah. Yeah, no, it made all the sense, and it solidified they're gonna do Solo and Cody at SummerSlam now. They've confirmed that. Not too excited about it.
It,
I'm
Cody will I'll make an early SummerSlam prediction. Cody's gonna retain.
yeah,
Um but yeah, because it's gonna lead to Roman and then Bad Blood you can have Randy and Cody. But first of all, that botch low blow. Can we talk about that?
yeah.
How
I
you
think we
how,
should.
how you mess up how you mess up a low blow?
How do you mess up punching somebody in the nuts?
Like you hit first of all, you hit your brother in the head.
Yeah, he decked him pretty hard.
It's like
And the fact that you had to do it twice, oh my God,
it's just like
it's it's all right. We knew he wasn't the best at executing coming into WWE. So,
there's a
but
reason.
hopefully,
There's a
yeah,
reason who was in the match. No offense to Tonga Loa, but like of those, somebody's got to be.
we knew why he wasn't the one in the match. And Jacob Fatu, Jesus Christ.
Boy,
We knew he was a monster before coming into WWE, but the world knows now. This man, I don't understand how he moves he's that big, but he moves like he's a cruiserweight.
Exactly.
He did a whisper in the wind, like it wasn't
He
like
did
you
the
couldn't
whisper.
tell me that wasn't Jeff Hardy.
Like, like, bro just said, you know what? I'm on the main roster. I'm in the biggest company. I'm a make sure they get their money's worth.
oh
My
yeah,
man said, bop, 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 bop. But the thing is, people were getting mad that like they said he no sold Randy's DDT, and I'm just like, bro. First of all, you must not know, wrestling psychology.
yeah. You're
Samoans
not
got them hard heads.
Samoans. You can't do nothing with them Samoan heads.
You can't. You can't. You headbutt them. You might as well just go
you're
ahead and
gonna
lay
be
down.
hurt. Yeah,
Yes.
yo, we know that. It's yeah, that goes with their lineage. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's Solo's enforcer now, so he needs to be booked as this unstoppable killer.
This,
And he did it. Like he showed that he is that unstoppable killer.
ain't
And
seen Randy since.
I like the dynamic of him anytime Solo got into trouble, Jacob was there to intercept. And that spot when they were all outside the ring about to power bomb, was it Tama or it was Solo? They were about to power bomb through the announce table, and he just flies out of nowhere and just takes everybody out. I'm like, yeah, I see why people were saying this man is going to outshine Solo because he already is.
Like, yeah, like that. There's a reason you kind of have to like you had to like hold off on him because we had to make it where it's basically already set in stone. It's going to be Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam before like
Mhm.
yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Jacob because yeah, he's the lighter version of Solo. Like he's a monster. Like just like Solo's a monster, but but I mean, back when Solo was in NXT, he was doing the super, the splash,
Right.
as his
Yeah.
finisher. But I think like as he's gotten more serious, as he's gotten more tribal chief, he's like, nah, like I don't need to do that. I got people to do that for me. And it's
Basically.
kind and the way this Bloodline 2.0 is looking, Solo is this version of Randy. I mean, not Randy, Roman. Jacob is him. So I feel like later on down the line, Solo's might get paranoid,
Mm-hmm.
and like he knew what he did in order to take Roman's spot, so he might be nervous that Jacob might take his spot. And then you
Yeah.
got Tama and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. They're like the Usos. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I said and watched. I do want to make a correction. Watch the Throne, I was wrong. The DIY did win. I'm gonna do an early prediction real quick before anything changes. I think it's going to be the Bloodline that takes towels off of them.
Most likely.
But
Yeah.
they're like they're this version of the Usos. So Jacob Fatu, that boy good. That boy good.
That boy is
That
good.
boy,
He is good.
he, LA Knight better
Yeah.
not make him mad because if because I feel like that could be the route they go where they're like, yeah, we're gonna have him take the title off LA Knight when he wins it. But that boy
Yeah.
good.
He's really good. And
They said
yeah.
Armando Estrada should be their wise man.
I did hear that they are going to get a wise man, and now that they've killed Paul Heyman,
Yep.
but fall out from that match. I have my shirt on. I'm starting the early prayer circle that we get Roman's return. So it needs to happen at SummerSlam.
Really?
Early prayer circle. Roman, I have my shirt on. Roman needs to come back at SummerSlam. It's time. But my other takeaway from this match is what do we do with KO and Randy Orton moving forward?
I feel like it's. I feel like now, especially with what's going on with his mom, I know his mom will want him to keep fighting. I feel like if they had written off KO so that he could spend time with his family, because Triple H, has been a big proponent of that now with his regime. Is like he understands family time is important. I feel like if they had written off KO, it would have been okay. So they might do that on SmackDown, depending on how his mom's condition goes.
Mm-hmm.
We wish the best for Kevin Owens and and his family. But if he's like, yeah, Hunter, I need time off, we're gonna write you off. You'll come back, and we'll know you'll be ready to fight the bloodline. Or if it's in the middle of the Randy, and that could actually also kind of help the Randy Cody feud down the
Yeah.
line. Is that you know, we're taking hits. People are something. How many people have had to sacrifice themselves for you because of the bloodline?
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, KO,
Yeah.
um, so many people, and myself. They took me out, and you're just okay with letting them run free. That's not cool with me.
Right.
Back in the legacy days, we would have already had these guys' heads on the platter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting with what they do with KO and Randy. It might lead to. I could see Randy versus Jacob at SummerSlam.
Yeah. That'll
And
be a
I
banger.
and I feel
Yeah.
like Randy would be okay putting the new guy over.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He's definitely at that point in his career where that's what his MO is, you know.
yeah, especially after the no sell of the DDT, like
Mm-hmm.
it writes itself. Well, not no sell, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So grade. I'm gonna go B plus. It was a good match. Of course, the star of the match was Jacob Fatu, going crazy. The only reason it doesn't get an A for me is the botch low blow from Tangaloa. So
That I'm with you on the B plus. The low blow, I can get over that. It's kind of another thing where predictability in a way. Like we kind of like either way. I feel like with this match, we would have if Cody and them had won, it would have been like, okay, dang, super Cody. But it's also like, of course, the Bloodline's gonna win because they got this heat, like they got this heat building up, especially after they
mm-hmm.
just demolished Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
So it's
no,
kind of like a mixed
murdered.
bag. Yeah,
They killed Paul Heyman. He's not alive anymore.
I was just trying to keep it PG just in case we have any future sponsors. But yeah,
And
that boy dead. Um, we are currently BJ and I are actually currently working on trying the Dragon Balls. That's why it took us so long to get
right.
this episode out.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Paul back, and he'll be on SmackDown on Friday. Maybe we'll see.
No, we
We gotta
ain't found it
resurrect,
yet.
find somewhere to bring Shinron out. So,
Right. But yeah, I give
oh
it a B
man.
plus.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
I guess we'll segue into some sad but very important news that happened at Money in the Bank. John Cena, one of the goats, is going on his retirement tour.
I I texted you. I was like, we knew it was bound to happen one of these days, but you're never ready for it. Because
No.
John Cena is one of the guys that got me into wrestling. I used to play a lot of the times I didn't even watch wrestling. Like how I got into wrestling was the WWE GameCube games of
Mm-hmm.
Day of Reckoning, and John Cena was like one of my go-to guys, and I just always was a big fan of his. He was the reason I watched Raw. I watched, when he moved on to SmackDown, I watched SmackDown. He's a guy I've like as long as I've been a wrestling fan, John Cena's been there, and it's
Same.
weird knowing that. Like we kind of know, like especially with the past few years, him wrestling maybe one match a year. It was coming, but dang, like
Yeah.
so, like it's like we can count it down. Like 2025, he's done.
Yeah. It's definitely bittersweet. Um, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed emotions, and we talked about it in run through because whenever he first became WWE champion and went on his first initial Super Cena reign, um, I hated that man. You know that.
Yeah,
I hated that man with a passion. Um, but that's the beauty of sports entertainment and professional wrestling. Like these people are invoking these emotions in us as kids and in our adolescent years, and we like you said, for me too, I started watching wrestling in the ruthless aggression era where he started and came up. So we've seen this man's career from start to finish, literally,
Yes.
So this moment is definitely like, wow, this is really happening, and it hits different. Like Taker finishing up, that hit a little different, but we didn't watch Taker from start to
Right.
finish, so it didn't feel like it feels. Hearing
Well,
Cena is not going to be on WWE television after 2025, so
yeah. I mean, I feel like he'll still show up. It's
he'll
just
show
he's
up, but
not
yeah,
gonna.
not in ring. We won't see the jorts
I
anymore.
mean, they
So
better hang that much. They better hang that up in every arena,
every single arena needs the
like,
jorts in the rafters.
like a retired jersey, bro.
Yeah, seriously, man, it's sad. It's very bittersweet, but on the same token, I'm very excited to see what they do or what he does with his remaining time. And I think our last segment will kind of be. We'll talk about, I guess, in the essence of time, we'll do. Let's go our top three Cena matches,
After
and
seeing
then
that,
we can segue and close the show out with predictions or fantasy booking of his last moments in ring competition. So
okay,
I'll start off. For me, I'm gonna go my top three Cena matches. Number, and this is no particular order, just the ones that hold the most in
hmm
memory and most feelings for me. Cena and Edge at Unforgiven '06 is one for me. TLC match, their feud speaks volumes. It goes without saying how big their feud was. And the culmination there, and he beat, wasn't that match in Canada too?
yeah, it was in
Yeah,
Toronto
yeah.
because Edge
So
Edge had beaten Cena in Boston at SummerSlam,
yeah,
so it was
yep,
like a
yeah.
back and
So that
forth.
was I think that was the christening. Like Cena, they already were booking him as that guy, but I think that match really, he did the TLC match. Like
Yeah,
he beat him he beat Edge in his match,
yeah,
and that
in his hometown.
in his hometown. So like Cena is top dog. Like I think that really kind of solidified him in that moment. So that's one for me. Two for me will be Cena and Michaels on Raw. I think that was 2007, if I'm
Yep,
not mistaken. Yeah.
on Cena's
Um,
birthday actually. It was his,
yeah.
yeah,
And Cena lost that match, but still they hit. That's a classic. Like if you're not a wrestling, if you're watching this and you're not a wrestling sports entertainment fan, that's the match that I suggest you watch, and I can guarantee you'll want to see more after that. So
go watch that match.
go
Yep,
watch
go
that
watch
match
it.
if you have not seen it. And then third for me, um, it's close. I'm gonna go, yeah, CM Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank. I think that one speaks for itself.
Yeah,
And it's crazy. I picked two matches that Cena lost, but that
yeah.
speaks volumes to the performer that he is or is. But yeah, I'll go. Those are my top three Cena matches for me.
Okay. Uh, I'll go ahead and pick some more so that way, our viewers, like if they haven't seen these matches, they can. Though, because you mentioned two of them that are on my list: Cena Michaels and Cena Punk. I'm definitely gonna go early, or kind of early in his career. Cena Angle No Mercy '03, underrated
Oh,
because
that.
it was really it was Cena's last, big heel pay-per-view like match, and just him and Kurt Angle have always worked magic.
Mm-hmm.
And Cena, it's another match. Spoiler alert: Cena loses, but it shows that he's like really ready to
Mm-hmm.
step up to that next level, and like I'm the guy. Like y'all can trust me. I
Mm-hmm.
got you. Um, then I'm gonna go. This is in no order. I'm gonna go Cena, JBL, Judgment Day 2005, in an
Oh,
I
I
Quit
quit.
match.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about brutal?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. It is a bloody match. Cena shows like, yeah, I deserve this title. I deserve to be the champ.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but and that match cleared their Mania match. They had to run that back. So
Yeah.
yes, that's a really good one.
Then for my third, dang, I really wish you hadn't taken Punk Cena.
You can say it again. No,
No,
that's
bro. No, it's good. I'm
okay.
gonna
I'll
go.
switch. I'll switch
No,
mine
no,
because
no, no.
I
It's all
said it was no. I
no.
said it was a tie between that one and then him versus Daniel Bryan. So I'll go
It's
Cena
okay,
and
bro.
Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam.
It's all good. Cause I'm gonna go one that hey, there because like you said, over 20 years of it. I'm gonna go Cena, AJ Styles, SummerSlam. What was that? 2017.
17. Yeah.
2017. AJ. Those two have never had a bad match, but that match was definitely their best.
Yeah.
It was,
I agree. Agree. Honorable mention for me. Triple threat. Him, Cena, Rollins, and Brock.
okay.
That's an honorable mention for me. And that Rumble 16 or
15.
15? Okay,
15.
15. Yeah, that
I
that match was fire.
we're gonna have to do a rebook episode
Yeah,
because there was like because even back then I was like you could have rebooked this way better
I agree. I
and
agree.
it's and what really like kind of that's a good match. It trust like I watched it during that time like WWE like they got snowed out so they're like hey we're just gonna show you the Royal Rumble pay per view for free. But that match, Seth being Mr. Money in the Bank, kind of messes that up. So in
Yeah,
the rebook, I like kind of took that into account. But because it still gives Cena a 16th world title, but also at the same time, we'll get into it. I'll get into it.
oh yeah,
We'll decide when we do a rebook episode, and then I'll do a little bowl and like pick one out of the hat, and then Rumble
for sure.
15.
All
So
right.
yeah. So
Cool. Yeah. That's yeah, those are our top Cena matches for us, you know. Definitely would like to hear from you guys to cuz this is a moment for all of us. If you're a WWE fan, Cena was a part of your viewing. It's crazy to think like that man has been around, that long. Even old heads from Attitude Era that still watch wrestling today, they've seen Cena. Like
yeah,
this is a big moment. So we definitely want to hear from you guys and hear what you guys like or your favorite matches and things like that. So
for sure.
um last but not least, the last segment, what are the fantasy or what is the fantasy booking dream matches? What do we want to see from Cena um during this retirement tour?
Personally, I do want to see him get 17.
I do too.
I want to see him get 17. A couple dream matches. Him versus Mello, that wouldn't
Yep.
miss.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's got to run it back with AJ Styles. Got to run it back with Randy Orton.
Yep.
Those two definitely have to go at it. I would like to see him versus Cody Rhodes.
I think that can happen. I think that can happen. They can make that, especially if they eventually, if Cody does lose the belt before Mania, maybe. They could definitely do that match, but um yeah, Cody and him would, yeah, that would be a great match for
Yeah.
sure. Um I'm sad Edge is no longer with the company.
Don't get me started on that because
God dang it, man.
it
Cause
irritates their last match, and every time it pops up, I'm like, this is the last time they face off one on one, and like it's like that. I hate you promo is so beautiful from
yeah.
Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cena just looks at it, was like, I know, and then like he just goes on and on about why he hates Cena. It's beautiful. But Backlash 2009, that's also another underrated one.
Yeah.
Last Man Standing. So
Yeah.
check that out. The last time Edge and John Cena, Batman and Joker, face off.
Man.
It's been 15 years. Their
And
last match one on one was 15 years ago.
that's just so depressing to think about because, I think for me, I'm sure for you, like whenever he said like I'm done after 2025, like that's one of the first things that went into my head. I was like, damn, Edge is no longer with the company, so we
And
will
the,
not
and
see
the,
this match ever again.
and he gets himself hurt. But we're not
Yeah,
gonna get into that. We don't talk
yeah.
about that.
I definitely think we'll see. Not definitely, but I would like to see him in Punk again one more time. But Punk at the press conference did say, maybe in 15 years I'll drag him out,
Right.
and so we'll see what happens. And the funny thing is, with WWE, we can never really trust retirements.
I feel
At
like
least
Cena's would stick though.
yeah. I think
Cena
Cena.
and Taker are two that I feel like are gonna stick because with Taker, his body, like he's like, I
He
just
couldn't do it.
physically
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
And Cena, he's got so many commitments with, the movies and
Hmm.
Peacemaker, his TV shows, all his commercials. Like, I'm proud. Like, I'm so happy when he does show up
Yeah,
because he's got so
seriously.
many things come on that does show his commitment. Even though it's kind of ironic, he used to, you know, get on the rock about that, and now
Right.
he's doing the same thing. But the thing is, I used to like in their feud, I was like anti-Rock. Like I did not like the Rock at all. And then it's like how you were with Cena, bro. I did not like bro, and it was because at least Cena made time, and like as I've gone back, I've realized that you know like The Rock asked WWE for something, and it was unreasonable, and they're
Hmm.
like no, and he's like, all right, cool, until I become like a big enough star where I don't need you, I'm not gonna like just call myself Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I'm just gonna be Dwayne Johnson. So that's why he kind of separated himself, and you know. But Cena, he's like, cool. I got like 3 hours. I can. Yeah, you guys are gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm already filming
Yeah.
something. That's why I've always like a random tag match on Raw after WrestleMania this year. Like that's how
Hmm.
much he loves the game.
Yeah. And I've seen people that, complain about him not putting on whenever he does show up. I mean, outside of his match against Roman, he's not putting on these 30-minute. Well, I don't think him and Roman was 30 minutes, but
Like,
um,
oh,
yeah, but he's not. They're mad because he's not putting on these 30-minute classics anymore. And I mean, he's paid his dues. He doesn't have to
yeah,
do that anymore. He's definitely just coming out. We want to see, for nostalgic purposes, we just want to see him go Super Cena and do his comeback and get out of there. Like he doesn't need to, give us these 30-minute barn burners anymore, which I think during this farewell tour, I think we will get a couple of those. But
yeah.
that's yeah, there's
That match was the longest match on the card, and it was 23 minutes.
so almost a 30 minutes. So
Yeah, because weren't you
uh
there for that show?
no, I wasn't there. I was there for the following, I believe that no, that was 2 years before, because that was 21, wasn't it?
22. That was
22.
22. Yeah.
Okay, so I was there the following year, when Brock destroyed the ring
Oh, okay.
with the tractor. So yeah, man, that's crazy. We're probably not gonna see Brock ever come back, so we
That's
won't
fine
get
by
another.
me.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't think anybody's too mad about that, but we won't see Brock and Cena. But yeah,
I
there's
wish we could have seen Brock and Kurt. I mean, not Brock and Kurt, Cena and Kurt one
one
more
more
time.
time.
That should have been
Yeah,
Kurt's retirement match at
it should have
WrestleMania.
been, and Kurt said he wanted Cena, so and said we got Baron Corbin. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. But man, it's gonna be rough.
It
Like
is.
knowing starting in Rumble 25, which we're planning to go to.
Yes, we
So
are. So,
it's definitely a must now that we know this may be the last time we get to see Cena in person. So
because I've seen him live twice. That first wrestling event I went to with you. Actually, both times I've seen Cena live has been with you. Um,
so
the
it's only right
the
the
Raw
last time. Yeah. It's only right because those are the only 2 times I've seen Cena too. So that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be sad when he goes off, but I feel like he'll put some people over, but at the same time, like you said, Super Cena, like let's just see it one more time.
Yeah, no, I think a must is he has to win 17. And ideally, don't I highly doubt it happens, but we need it at Mania 41. Him and Randy. I don't know how they're going to get to that point, but I think Mania 41 has to be for me Randy and Cena for the title one last time.
He's got to at least headline one of those nights, and
Yeah.
it probably might be night two, just to really. Um, I could see it
Solidify.
being Cena. I could see it being Cena Cody. I could see it
Really.
somehow. I don't see because he says he's going to be at Elimination Chamber.
Mhm.
Which, fun fact, if you guys don't know, Cena has been in a few Elimination Chambers. He's won a few of them. Every Elimination Chamber that he's ever been in and he's eliminated somebody, he's only eliminated one person. Burrito in '06. Dang, I have to go back now and think about it. Nobody in '09 because that's when everybody just jumped him. Triple H to win it in 2010. CM Punk to win it in 2011. 12, he wasn't in the chamber. Neither was he in 2013.
Mhm.
2014, he eliminated, I think it was Cesaro that match. Yeah, it was Cesaro. 15, I don't even think they had a chamber. They did have a chamber in 15, but it's easily forgettable. It was the Intercontinental title one. 16,
Oh,
they
that was the year Ryback was champion?
yeah,
Dark times.
dark times. And the last person was Miz in 2017, which led to that fantastic match that
Oh
was
yeah.
totally necessary, and
Oh
everybody's still together.
yeah. Yeah. That was just
That long ass ramp. They say, yeah, they might as well just start the Undertaker match now because by the time it gets over, like it'll be nighttime.
Jesus. Seriously. But no, man, it's gonna be a long
Bittersweet.
journey. Yeah, bittersweet journey to finish off, man. But I'm excited because I know they have to do some big matches to
Oh yeah.
solidify this. And you know what sucks about, yeah, I hope his retirement does stick after this because so many times we've had wrestlers like we had the moment of Flair and Shawn Michaels,
And then yeah,
and then
Flair, Shawn Michaels.
and then he comes back like that, just killed the whole.
He went to
It,
TNA, and like I'm
yeah,
just like, even then, I was like, but you retired,
right. And you
like
got retired. You're not supposed to be wrestling anymore. So
not. And
yeah,
then he's
and
like, and he's waiting up against Sting, and then he's like, yeah, I'm done after that. After that match with Sting, he's like, you know what? Let me do one more match. He does that, damn near dies. And
yeah,
then after that, he's like, I think I got one more in me. I wish somebody would like sit down
sit,
and
please.
just chill out.
Yeah,
And then,
like where was Charlotte? Like,
where, her
Dad, sit
husband
down.
was in the match.
Facts. Yes, exactly. Like they're condoning this. Like this man, do you know how many health scares this man has had?
He
No,
almost died.
he does not need to be taking any more bumps. The only bump he needs to take is sitting down in his chair.
Exactly.
That's it.
Maybe some bumper cars with his grandkids, but
That's
that's about
outside
it.
of that. No, that was just depressing to watch and witness. After that, the the beautiful cinema of Shawn Michaels and him at Mania. That
I love you. I'm sorry. Super like,
yes, that was the perfect send off.
and then he's like, I know one. I think he went to TNA because of like, like he was going through a divorce and like financial issues, but that doesn't explain the last match and the company that we don't talk about. That
Right.
doesn't explain any of that. But hey, that's Ric Flair for you. When
But
has he ever
no,
made sense?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good remaining year, and then going into 2025, it's gonna be fun. So,
Yeah.
we're just gonna enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
I'm here for the ride wherever it takes us. So,
Yeah, we're gonna have to
um,
wear our jorts at half mast.
oh yeah, we're wearing jorts to rumble.
No, we're not. I don't know how warm it is in Texas. In Indiana, it's gonna be freezing. No,
We're
you
go we're
can.
go-
I'm
we're
not.
going all in, man.
You can.
It
I'm
is
not.
it is going to be cold in Indianapolis
Oh no.
in Feb or January. Is it it's
February. It's a
February, February. God,
people were
I'm
mad
off.
about that.
Yeah,
People
nah,
were
but
like, the Rumble takes place in January. I'm like, bro,
mhm,
SummerSlam was in July like a couple of years ago. It'll be
yeah,
okay.
it will. So we'll see, man. But I think this was a good closing moment here.
Yes.
You
Uh,
know, tap
don't want to.
in with us.
I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, but I have an announcement. We may have our first guest next week. I gotta
Yes.
double talk with them. If not, I got some backups. So
So yeah, we will
so
have guests
we will
soon.
have guests hopefully next week.
Yes.
Like I said, we gotta work on that. Work on our schedule. See if it works in their schedule. If not, we're gonna have guests. It ain't just gonna be our dashing faces and voices that
Yeah.
you guys are gonna hear. But
Yeah.
we are excited. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 2.
For sure.
And just leave a
Yeah.
comment or tweet at us. We're not gonna, because I don't know what you call it on X. Tweet at us. What's your favorite John Cena memory?
Yes.
Um,
That is awesome. And then we'll post that question on our
yeah,
Twitter after.
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, tap in with
We,
us. Let us know your favorite John Cena moment, match, what you're looking forward to.
we may pick one of you lucky people to be a guest on the show.
Yes. You never
Maybe
know. You might
you
be the
never,
lucky
you
person.
might
So
be.
but thanks for tuning in with us. Episode 2 has been fun as usual. Thanks to my main man Cam jumping on and hosting with me. And we'll see you guys next
Nice.
week. Do you have
Next week.
any other closing statements?
And all I gotta say is, and his name is John Cena. I wish I had that queued up. I
Oh
didn't,
man,
so it
stay
would have
tuned.
been it
So
next.
yeah, yeah. You get this though.
I
We'll give you that. There you go. All right.
think we're still recording.